So when I was in this near-death, when I was talking to Anita, and when I had the experience with John of God, one of the things that happened is that I received a letter from this woman in New York, an attorney, and she said she wanted to come to Maui, and she wanted to do a past life regression with me that she thought could help me to heal myself from leukemia. Now, this is not someone that I knew at all, but it was such a beautifully written letter, and it was also from a woman from Bulgaria, number 5. So I invited her to come, and she came to Maui. So if you understand what they say in quantum physics, that there is no such thing as time, and that then there can't be any past. And there can't be any future. That everything that has ever happened to you didn't happen in the past, it happened now, in the present. And everything that will ever happen to you will happen now. So in this experience of, and I invited this woman to come to Maui, and then after I invited, I said, how did I get myself into this, and what am I doing, and I don't want to have to do this, but it was a total life-changing experience. And if Mira, if you could come up, someone give her a mic. Oh, you have one. Let me tell you a little bit about this lady you're about to hear for a few moments. I'm going to share her with you. She grew up in a communist country in Bulgaria. She, as a young woman, had an experience of regressing herself and knew that this was something that was to be her life's work. At the age of 17, or 18, she left Bulgaria on her own, came to America, spoke very little English, and went to a school in Connecticut, Bridgeport, and then went from there, transferred over to NYU because the other wasn't challenging enough. Got herself a degree, and then graduated from NYU, all on her own. Her mother and father and sister were all left back in Bulgaria. And then decided that she was going to go to law school. Went to Syracuse University, graduated with honors from the Syracuse University in law school, and took the bar exam in New York, the toughest bar in the country, and passed it the first time, even though English was her third language. Practiced corporate law for 7 years, and then decided that she was going to embark on what her calling, her true calling was, something she's known since she was a little girl. And she put me into this past life regression. Why are you so far away? Get over here. This is Mira Kelley. And,
hello, everyone.
And if you read Wishes Fulfilled, you will see the experience that I had in a past life regression with Mira. What I want to say is that I was able to put my attention on what it was that I was here for as I spoke from... She has worked with Brian Weiss, but has taken it another step further, has done some amazing, amazing work. If you have an experience, ever have an experience of this, if you can get yourself a way to do it, figure out a way to do it, because it was so life-changing for me. And I became, in my regression, which was not a past life, as Mira said, and Anita says, it's a parallel life, because there's no past. It's all happening at once. That Peter Dunoff, when I saw his picture for the first time, her mother showed it to me, also a professor in Bulgaria, showed me a picture of Peter Dunoff, and I almost collapsed when I looked at it. It was exactly who I had become, in a cave, in who knows when, and it brought, this was what I call a perfect storm. Mira came into my life, John of God came into my life, and this experience of transformation all showed up at this time. And Anita came in as well. Why don't you just share a little bit about your history of it, how it works, and I still don't quite know myself.
I agree with what you said and what Anita says, that these are really simultaneous lives that we live. And what you experienced was not really a past life. It was just the ability to suspend the input from your senses, from the taste, touch, smell, all those, and be actually able to place your attention on everything that is out there. And that's how it works when I regress people. I allow them to go deep within and to expand their awareness of what is out there. And that's how people connect to these other lifetimes they have lived. And that's how the experience becomes such a vivid and personal experience. They feel it in their bodies. They cry with the emotions they experience. And really, by placing their attention, they become these other people.
How long does it take?
It could take quite a few hours because, it's a journey through seeing who you are and what you are. It's not a fast one, and the depth of it allows for the quality of it.
So most of the time it's between 4 and 5 hours. So
Yes.
it's a half a day experience.
Yes.
Is it hypnosis?
It is, but because it is so deep, such a deep experience, to people it feels like it was just a few minutes, because time is really something we create with our minds, and once we draw our attention and awareness, we really go into that place of timelessness, so people really experience it as very much time not being there. And it being a hypnosis, yes, it is. And hypnosis is such a natural state. This is a state that we pass several times a day. When we wake up, when we go to sleep, when we are in the movie theater and we watch a movie and we become so involved and so engrossed that we forget about the people coughing around us and, shifting in their seats, or when we read a great book. So it's a very natural state, and it's...
Okay. Let me ask you, Mira, when you did the regression with me, which took about a half a day, and I reproduced in the book part of what it was, and I went back and became this old man with a long white beard and white hair in this cave. Is it possible that this man whose life overlapped mine literally became a part of me? Because it wasn't just Peter Dunov, but it was also this Swami Yukteswar, who I see now all the time, who I saw in the story that I just saw. I became like a composite of these great teachers. And I walked out of it feeling that there was absolutely nothing that could keep me from fulfilling a dharma that I really feel like I've been in since I showed up here on this planet. That it was like, it's almost like I've said it so many times, I now feel at the age of 72 that I've been in ascended master training since I was a child. And something has been watching over me, keeping me from going too far astray, but pushing me towards the edge, and so on. Was Peter Dunov and myself, can we become one?
I absolutely believe that's what happened, yes, and that's how this experience works, by allowing yourself to place your awareness and attention on what the experience is. We become one, and that's really what the experience of oneness is. Then you realize it in a not just in an intellectual level, but on a very personal level. And what you're talking about, having this dharma, having this calling, it's very interesting, because the you who you are right now existed also when you were 5 years old.
Right.
Or when you were sitting and watching that TV show, when you were saying, I'm going to be on this Johnny Carson TV show
Right.
someday, right? So, and the you who actually was on that TV show existed at that moment too. So sometimes it makes me wonder, is it our choices that get us where we are? Or is it that future pool of who we are, and we're just getting closer and closer with every step we take to be that person? Because they exist, they're there right now.
so that everything exists all at once, like a future being that I am exists at this very same moment.
Just as the 2-year-old that you were.
Which is what Einstein taught us in quantum physics.
And quantum physics teaches us, yeah.
Right. Did you introduce one additional thing to this at the end of this session, which is a conversation with the higher self, which is something you've taken it beyond what Brian has done and so on, which is your own brand of it, and you're writing a book about it, and I'm going to do the forward to that, and you're putting out some meditations on how to go about doing this as well. Just share a little bit about what this is. At the end of the session, you call in this higher self, which is the second chapter in Wishes Fulfilled.
It's really a very unique experience, and it works very simply by expanding your awareness and reaching outward. By expanding your energy, you connect with the energy of your higher self. And even though I call it the higher self, what really happens is the door is open to the highest levels of guidance and awareness and love and light and healing. I had a session with someone who, when we spoke initially, he said to me, I just want to know the names of my angels. And that's all he wanted. And sure enough, I wrote down the question, I want to know the names of my angels. And then the moment came when he was when I was conversing with his higher self, when I said, now angels, please step forward so that he can experience you. And sure enough, out of this light that he was in, these two beings stepped forward and they said, hello, I'm David. Hello, I'm Jonathan. And they said, you're doing very well. And they gave him a few other messages. And even though I was conversing with the higher self, the angels were there guiding me and assisting.
There's a woman whose little boy has cancer that I just gave a copy of Anita's book to. What would if this little boy could do this, what would this little boy's highest self, the infinite part of all of us, what would it say to a person with leukemia, such as myself or her son?
I'm sure that it will be a message of love. It will be something about learning how to be in a state of love and flowing love, because that's what the blood represents. It really represents the flow of life and love. So what I'm imagining, it will be something to do with, I'm here to teach you about opening your heart and flowing love and flowing joy.
Thank you. Mira Kelley, God
Thank
bless you.
you.
Dear. That session, and I know there are skeptics. I've been one. You paid to hear me, so I got the mic. So, and what I say to you is to have a mind that is open to everything. If you ever get a chance to have that experience of 3 or 4 hours of going within, I walked out of there just having a knowing that St. Francis, Lao Tzu, Peter Dunov, Yogananda, Sri Yukteswar, these have been great teachers in my life, and you know what? I am them, and they are me, and we are all one. You can find more out. Her name is Mira Kelley, Kelley, on the internet. I don't know how it works, .com or something. And if you'd like to arrange a session with her sometime in the future, she just was in Chicago for 2 weeks and did 15 sessions in 15 days. And every single one of those people, each one of them took a full day. It just blew people away. I watched people not only transform their relationships, but transform their health,